Oh wow, looks like I'm back. But am I back for streaming? I don't know. I don't know. Let me check. Let me check. I am. Wow. I am. Wow. Let me write here in the chat. Let me write here in the chat. Let me and mute myself. This, so I had just my router just going out completely offline. And this is another reason why I'm coding this startup, so that we can have fucking good internet. Gosh. Alright, so where's my chat? Let me write so that people can make sure the address is correct. Am I live on the YouTube though? Am I live on the YouTube? Let's see. Yeah, I am. How does it work? Is it gonna save the last one? It's 15 minutes. Let me change here the thumbnail. Let me change the thumbnail here. But now I can't see chat. So if you write me something, I can't really see that. Now I can see that. Ooh, now I can see that. Finally. Okay, save. Yes, nice. Alright. Looks like I am back. So, what I was doing, I was basically creating those tasks. The idea is to upload the first topic as quick as possible, and then so that Sasha can actually have already the structure, can work with the structure. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go here and create a new blog to the Cloud Prism. For that, I need to go to the admin panel. And again, the website takes insane amount of time to load. Maybe having my Next.js skills, I'm gonna just rewrite the whole website. Sounds like a terrible idea. Sounds like a terrible idea. Here we go. Now this page is not gonna load. I already know how to work with it. I just need to open a new one. It's gonna take again a lot of time to load, but all right. Cloud Prism dashboard. Did you make the progress? Yes. Yes. I am basically now I'm just gonna create the right topic, so the right structure. And basically I've made the whole thing. I don't know how much you watched, but I could get my whole blog into the Next.js. The styles still didn't really apply that perfectly, but I guess I just need to get the proper style. But I'm gonna, so first what I'm gonna focus on is actually getting the creating the structure and making the right topics with tests and tasks, because if I don't have this, Sasha cannot progress on connecting them correctly. So I'm gonna focus on this one, and then I'm gonna go back to coding basically. But you helped me a lot yesterday, like, wow. Turns out Sasha was also watching the stream, and we spoke with Sasha yesterday. We were speaking with him like 2 hours ago, and then he didn't know about GraphQL and something, and then he turns on the stream on a random time, and then he sees me doing the GraphQL and going completely off the direction that we discussed basically an hour ago. So yeah, That's the reality of working in a small company. I'm gonna create a new post here. Okay, so this is the post that I'm gonna transform, and I'm gonna create a new post. Let's call it topic 1. Topic 1, so-called syntax. And in the so-called syntax, we're gonna have all of this. Yeah. Oh, really? Doesn't copy like this? Okay, then I'm gonna just copy the text. Good, yeah, those styles you imported are just basic style blocks that WordPress uses. Usually a headless WordPress, you just import the content through GraphQL or REST API and style your front end however you want. Does it mean also usually you... I mean, ideally you have the workflow that you write your styling in the WordPress, right? Because you wanna how you edit your posts in the WordPress, you wanna have them the same way displayed, the content itself of the posts, you wanna have them the same way in the front end, right? Ideally I would actually restyle the way they are now styled, because I don't like the style. So this is the style that was done by the company that did for me the whole website, and it looks so I would kind of restyle it in the way I want it. No, your styling will be in your front end. Okay, so you usually just have a plain... Okay. Yeah, I mean, it kind of also makes sense, actually. Yeah, I mean, yeah, okay. So we style, so basically we kind of just write the HTML part on the WordPress, and then we don't do any CSS there, and we have all the CSS in our Next.js. I guess actually, both works. Whatever works, whatever is quicker, is the right thing to do. Because if I don't ship, it all doesn't matter. No product, nothing. Everything's gonna be dead if I don't ship the product. So whatever works. I think let's see. I'm gonna go with the flow and see what works better. But I do think that definitely that was such a big improvement by having the headless WordPress. That's good. And I see the styles are not applying here as well. I did a headless WooCommerce site, so I'm familiar with it. Yes, you're styling in your Next.js what people will see. Yeah. Yeah. It means that here we just need basically to do the HTML part. Which we kind of already have. Let's say I think it's good enough for the topic 1. Yeah, that's good enough. That's good. Okay. Visual display everyone. logged in users administrator. Correct the structure in WordPress and worry about styling in the Next.js. How do I deal though that WordPress has already some styling built in? Well, I'm basically gonna just overwrite it, right? So, and I'm gonna create here a new category. I'm gonna call it Next.js topics. Next.js. I think Next.js is good enough. And I'm gonna put it in the Next.js. Team primary, nope. Okay, now visibility public, and I wanna make it private. Oh, does it mean when I make it private, is it still gonna be in the API? I think I'm gonna need to check this thing. And status draft. Publish, no publish, cancel. Let's make it private. Let's make it private. Date. They have default styling for some things alignment. Yeah. I mean, as far as I know, we can define our own even metadata here, so okay. Header what is table of contents. This is a plugin here. Private won't show in the API. Yeah, this okay. This is what I thought. Okay, I can. The thing is, I don't want to have them published, right? So I need to make them so that they're not published, but they're visible through the API, which means they have to be public. But okay, I can just not publish them actually. I think I literally need to click on the publish button. Only published posts will show. Only published will show. Oh, okay. Let's see. I thought I saw in the. Here we go. Now it's not. I thought I saw in the GraphQL that you can actually specify and get unpublished stuff. Maybe I'm wrong. Unless you're authenticated. Yeah, I would ideally I would take everything into that you need to be authenticated. Because people gonna steal it for sure. I mean, that's for sure. I am active on LinkedIn and people steal every single post there, right? So which is fine. I mean, it's not such a big of a deal, right? But still somehow, I don't know. It should be protected. Okay, so this thing, why is it still private? Status published. Let's make it draft and password or private. That's interesting. That's interesting. Okay. Let's see. So that would be posts, ID type, and then rendered row. Okay. So what's the ID of this post? Preview. How can you prevent people from stealing in the web? It's not really realistic. Even paid customers who have access can copy and steal it. Yeah, that's actually true. You're right. That's a good point. And most people won't. Yeah, that's a good point. Why would I try to make it? But I still don't wanna make it like completely just publish on the Cloud Prism, because what's the point of making like a paid website with a course if you can find this course online, right? For free. That's true. If someone really wanted to steal it, they would be able to do it no matter what. Or I would need to spend crazy amount like that. That's not worth it. So just copy pasting stuff, that's always possible. Let's see if I can get this one. Okay, so there's no data. Yep, people steal YouTube videos or Udemy courses. That's true. That's true. Yeah. Like my post, especially those posts that are put a lot of time in on LinkedIn, like with a carousel, like those, I can actually even show it here. Like I did I think yesterday one. This one, oops, that's not a distraction. Like those posts, I always found them somewhere else, just couple day after, always, like always. Okay, so it means that it should be public and it should be published. Well, with the published, it doesn't make that much sense, actually, because why would I? Yeah, because I kind of make a course, and kind of one of the points of this course is that it also has own written stuff. Status draft. Okay, let's see if I actually publish this thing, then it should be available. Well, I mean, what I can do is I can completely go and create another instance, just not publishing on my Cloud Prism stuff, and people won't be able to find it. I just also need to make sure that the site is not indexed. Or I can tweak it in some way so that they're just not accessible from here, from the blog. There should be definitely a way to just hide it in the WordPress on my Cloud Prism website, even if they are published. Let's say in the blog showing only certain blog posts with a certain tag. And people still could go just with the URL, but that doesn't, again, this is the same thing. I can't prevent people doing that. Yeah, and here we go, it's published. Can I edit just this page? And I don't wanna hide this page on the Cloud Prism because it does give us a little bit of traffic. We even rank #1 in some of the pages. Not #1, but like first page, like top 5 on Google. I have a theme in WordPress. If you visit the front-facing WordPress version of the URL, it shows a blank page. Okay, if it's status, okay, now if it's published, I should be at least see it in the GraphQL. Azamat, hi. Yeah. Ah, okay, what's that? You must be logged in to view the content. The way the content isn't posted or public. That's interesting that now it says for me that I must be logged in to see that. So if I'm not logged in, it means that... Oh, that's interesting. So I need to include the password, but I can include the password. I think it would be the best way. I think it would be the best way. Now the question is it still displayed on the blog? Oh, it is not displayed on the blog if I'm not logged in. That's the best way. If I can now create here a password, let's say generate random password. Nah. And I think I saw here somewhere edit post and let's say password protected. Nope. It has to be public and published post to be visible. Okay, I see. Then let's do it like this. Yeah, I mean, I know the solution how we could do it. Like I could just spin out, but there are ways around it. I can just create completely different WordPress website. It's quick. I hope. And then write the whole thing there. Like I could do that. I'm not so sure if that would be the most clean way. But why would you need another WordPress website? I mean, I don't wanna make it public so the idea is that I hide this learn Apex, right? The idea is that I hide here the people can buy basically 2 tiers. The first tier would be you just get access to the text course, and the second tier is that you have access to the text plus tasks. That's the kind of the idea behind it. So if I publish the text stuff, if I publish it on my website, it kind of does make sense for anyone to buy the first tier, right? Which, I mean, now this whole stuff is anyway for free, so now it doesn't really matter. But let's say as soon as I'm done with migrating everything that I have in my WordPress, as soon as I'm done with it, that would be quite strange. But I still could do it. Like I can just, for example, I'm not really sure actually about what I'm saying. So maybe I should completely just move away from the idea. I believe you could use an user app pass. A user app pass. What do you mean by user app pass? Ideally, I would still use my Cloud Prism, but I would just protect it with a password or some kind of authentication, so that the posts are not published. But you say it's not possible, right? REST API, WordPress, unpublished posts, private posts. Okay, so I'm gonna need to authenticate. Then the private post will show when you use GraphQL with that, I believe, in WordPress. Yeah, exactly. So this is, go to your users, okay. Users. Here, admin. I have only one admin. Takes a lot of time. Admin. There's only one admin, right? So I see. That's what you mean. No, new application password. Application password. I see. So that would be basically a secret. That would be a secret that I'm using in the GraphQL and sending over. And then I can access the private posts. Required to create an application password, but not to update the user. Application passwords allowed authenticating via non-interactive. Then Google VP GraphQL using password. Yeah, that's you're right. Okay, let's just create here admin123. I'm gonna change it later then. Add a new password. Ah, that's not the password. Okay, that's the password. Okay, all right. I see. Just save it here. Admin123. I see. That totally makes sense actually. That's totally makes sense. Then you can get the private post using that outpass and should show. Yeah, okay. That's what I do. Yeah, that's super helpful. That's super helpful. That's exactly how it sounds like the best way to do it. Okay, that's basically, here's my code. That's pm run dev. Where's my GraphQL things? Maybe I'm a genius, I know. Okay, that's my GraphQL. Are you also a marketing genius, man? I would need someone to be a marketing genius. Get post. Let's see. Let's make it private. Public, private. Okay, I guess I would need this one. Okay, I have those steps. So my understanding from the way I know it works, we should include those things in just URL request. But looks like the flow is a little bit more complicated than that. It looks like we're gonna need maybe 2 requests. We might gonna need to request some kind of access token though. Okay, it's not helpful. Yeah, okay, but this is user flow. Yes, exactly. That's we need this one. Yes. And I don't even need to generate a new password. I just need to use them. Hmm. Okay. So this is what I need. This is what I need. VP JSON to maybe not users. I don't need users. I need posts. But I need to include this thing. It looks like yeah. See you. See you. See you in an hour. Hmm. I kind of want to try it out just here. Where's my GraphQL? So it says that I need to be authenticated, right? Yeah. So I need to be logged in. The way I know from other stuff, I would just have here some kind of comma and then I would just set my credentials. Does it work this way though here? I need ID, content, format, rendered. That works. Okay, let's ask ChatGPT. I think it's always good to ask ChatGPT. Let's go and ask the classic version. I would say I would even go for here, trying to get a post that is private. I have application password, but I don't know where to set this password. Okay, is it that easy? Is it that easy? Let's see, where's my Apollo? Apollo client, link, URI, headers. And then I'm gonna use my application password, which would be this one. I wonder if I should keep the white spaces. I don't think so. That would be strange. That would be strange, but let's see. Headers, URI. Let's just make sure is the structure correct. Yeah, that's what I thought. The structure doesn't seem correct. I think I didn't place the headers in the correct place. Wait. That seems for me way too far away from what I had. No, that's I don't trust you. I don't trust you. Okay, no, new HTTP link. HTTP link. And then we have link, and link has URI and headers. And then cache, we have a different thing. Okay, I think it makes sense, but I can just put it here, right? So the URI and headers should be on the same level. And yeah, because that's the request itself. Okay, it does make sense. Let's go to localhost and check it out. Modules, Sokol. Okay, so we get now the same what we used to get because I didn't change the ID. So to get the ID, I'm gonna need to do this one. That should get me the right ID. You must be logged to view the content. Okay, so it does not recognize me. Let's do this. Let's delete those things. .y spaces. Still, you must be logged in. You must be logged in to view the content. I am getting... How can I even debug it? How can I debug it? And how should I fix it? Verify the application password. Yeah. Very creative, ChatGPT. Course issue. No, that's not the course issue. Yeah, that's definitely so. I definitely user permission. I definitely do have the right user permissions, right? Let me check that, because it means if I go here to the blog, I'm logged in now as an admin. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. So it said to go to the network and see what kind of requests are we doing. All right, let's do that, because the GraphQL is actually the client side, which is really strange for me. I kind of don't really, I don't know. It would be nicer if we could put it in the server side, and I think we can. At some point I think I saw the way to do that. Something like get server side props blah blah blah, some Next.js stuff. But we will get to it. So what are the requests? This is the GraphQL. Okay, this is the response. This is the response as well. Can I see here requests? Hook, layout, page. Okay, this response. Payload, headers. Exactly, so what I want is actually to see what kind of request are we sending, and then I can take this request and put into my GraphQL IDE and see if that request works. How do I see what request are we actually doing? Because I understand this, but this is not the whole request, because this is also part of the request. So how do I know which request are we doing? Can I do here something like const upload client equal to this one, and then return upload client. And in the meanwhile, I can just say console.log, because it's clearly using this stuff. Upload client. Let's see. Okay, that's the... No, this is the response. That's the response. Let me write here console.log, and let's say Apollo. Okay, so that's the thing. Well, I see. That's not very useful. Link, options, headers. Yeah, I see. So let me do JSON stringify, because that JSON stringify. No, I can't. Okay. Okay, whatever. You must be logged in. Without extra spaces. This is exactly what I was given. Without extra spaces or characters. That's exactly what I was given. I am quite sure that the problem is somewhere here. I guess the problem is that I don't really understand how the authentication works. Let me, if I cannot solve it, if I'm relying too much on the ChatGPT, it means that I don't really understand how the authentication is done. So it means I need to go back and read about how exactly does it work. Ideally, I should be able to get this thing here in the GraphQL. Where's my GraphQL? Where's my GraphQL? Here, this one. So ideally, I would be able to go here, click on play, and at least get the content here. Ah, okay, so now I switched it as a... Okay, and now if I click, now I get everything. Okay, so that's okay. Now how do I know what request are they sending? History. It's not very helpful. It's not. It's really not. I think, okay, let's have a look at Apollo. Apollo GraphQL authentication. Can I just immediately Google here Apollo GraphQL? How was the thing that you suggested? Application password, right? It's called application password. Application password, yeah. Application password. Okay, see, it basically shows the same. Let's see, maybe, okay, API wide authorization. Yeah, I think it's what I need. I see. Yeah, but this is when I throw the exception when the user is not authenticated. How do I authenticate my GraphQL? It doesn't seem to be helpful for me actually. I expected this API-wide authorization being helpful, but that's not the use case that I want. And I cannot read out my use case out of this example. Let's add here WordPress. Yeah, this is something that I would expect. I would expect that we need some kind of two queries. First to get the token, and second to send the data. There is definitely some huge misunderstanding in how I see the GraphQL authentication. Yeah, let's go to basics. So this is the official documentation of WordPress GraphQL. Let's see what they have. Do they have here authorization? Let's just Google VP GraphQL authorization. Authentication, authorization, all the same stuff. Okay, I already read it. Let's see if something new is open for me when I read it for the second time. Okay, so it looks like we need to use some kind of mutations. No idea what exactly is mutation, but that doesn't matter now. So let's say we have mutations. Basically, we need to check. WordPress will automatically check all the time when we make some request. Makes sense. Makes total sense. But the example here, not useful. Basic authentication handler. This plugin adds basic authentication to WordPress website. Yeah, but I don't really care about the WordPress side. Yeah, I guess I'm reading the wrong side. I'm reading the side of the WordPress. I don't really care about the WordPress side because from the WordPress everything's set. I really care about the GraphQL part. Okay, let's read again. User GraphQL. Okay, so I have this. Yes. So these were just ideas, discussions. What is available in the GVT authentication? Okay, let's see. Is it GVT? I don't know. I'm going through those things, and none of them rings a bell for me actually. Hmm. Nah, that's not what I want. Let's go to my buddy ChatGPT. I mean, the interesting part that we can authenticate here, it's definitely using headers. I just don't... I just don't see what headers is it using. How to see requests in Chrome console. Headers, how to see headers exactly, that's what I need. That's exactly what I need. Headers. Network with several items. When I click them, I can see headers on the right tab. You can see headers on the right tab. On the right tab. Is the right tab? This definitely network. Yeah, but this is headers. Oh, or are those mine headers though? I think those are mine headers, right? General request headers. Here we go. Oh my god, I'm just a little bit. Just had to scroll down basically. So I don't see any authorization header here, but I do see a cookie. So it probably does the authentication and authorization with the cookies. Okay, but now at least the same way, I can go here and I can go to the network and I can see what kind of request it is doing. Okay, let's say we have here the GraphQL headers. I'm not so much interested in the response header, much more in request headers. And I don't see any authorization headers. Sup your hello hello. Let's start a new ChatGPT so that I can send screenshots. I am getting you must be logged in to view the content. Error. Are you trying to build a full stack website from scratch like Apex? Yes, I not like Apex, but I do try to build a full website from scratch. I wouldn't say from scratch completely, but yeah, pretty much, yeah. How can I debug it? So I'm not gonna ask ChatGPT to give me the answer. I'm gonna ask how can I debug this stuff. And here's separator. And I definitely know that following request gives the right data if I execute it from the GraphQL IDE in my website. And let me send see screenshot. I definitely know that the following request gives the right data if I execute from GraphQL IDE in my website, and if I am logged in as an admin. And now a few more description. I am trying to get private posts into my Next.js application. This is the last thing. If I get it correctly, that's the last thing that I need for actually implementing the whole lesson thing. Okay, this is actually what I would like to do. I would like to compare the request that I do with a GraphQL IDE. But I've done it, and it looks like they're using some kind of cookies, so it wasn't really helpful. So I suspect that the problem is in the authentication of my GraphQL or Apollo client. Can you explain all the steps I need to do? I have my application key from WordPress already generated. Yeah, this is so basic. This is so basic. Check that it's correct. It is correct. It is. Yeah, that's what I have. That's what I have. I have here the bear and authorization. And I can also do here console.log. Now it complains. It complains about Apollo client. Ah. See, this is typo. Options. I guess we don't have options. We only have link, and then we're supposed to have link, and then... Oh, we don't have headers. Oh, maybe this is misplaced, actually. Apollo client. Let's read documentation. Apollo client. Let's do queries. Ah, no. So I need Apollo client, Apollo server, client. Yeah, I need client. And let's say get started. Install dependencies. I have this Apollo client. Yeah. And now I have URI and cache. Okay, let's see what other are options. Maybe the headers are misplaced. It could be. I see. I need the full specification on this Apollo client. Learn how to fetch queries with arguments. Here. Interesting enough, I don't see where to place headers. HTTP link. Ah, okay, so HTTP link. Let's read about HTTP link. HTTP link. Okay, so we have headers. So URI and headers, they should be on the same page. Yeah, so then it's correct. Okay. Credentials. Let's see. What do you mean by credentials? Okay, so it looks like the header is in the right place. So it would be linked and then headers. Interesting. Why does it say it doesn't exist? Apollo client dot link request dot to string. Where are you getting this header from? So for now it's just basically, so this header is from the WordPress. I'm not getting it, I'm trying to make a call with this header so that I get back, not you must be logged in to view the content. So I get proper response. You must be logged. So I do get the correct header. So if I go here to the network and if I look at GraphQL, headers, authorization, looks like I do get here the right authorization token. It's still not enough. Oh, I actually got an idea. What if the token that I generated doesn't have the right... No, it does have. It does have the right things. The right access. See, I'm just curious. I'm just curious if I say I checked all 11 points. None of them is true. Which is kind of to some degree true because I... Okay. So, PP GraphQL REST API authentication. I read this article already 3 times. I still don't really understand. Authentication and authorization. Here, that's what I need actually. So first what I need is coffee. As the first thing. Let me get a bit more coffee. But this is the last thing that I need. This is the last thing. I have this and I'm just gonna put out the content and that's it. From the technical perspective. You know what? Let me read it carefully. not as I usually do it. Data store. Yeah, but again, it's all the WordPress stuff. It's not actually what I need. Okay, this is exactly what I need to ensure that application password functionality is available. Fire off a request of the REST API root URL and look at the authentication key in the response data. If this key is empty, then application passwords are not available. But I already have the application passwords. Where I already have application passwords. I don't need this thing. Okay, I have an idea what I'm missing. I am missing another request to the WordPress to get the token data. But I don't know. Not sure. Okay, taking my words back. Not sure. It looks like, so they showing here, what they show here is kind of authorization for between apps, which I don't need it. I need REST API flow. Hey, let's see. I'm not sure if I can read it. Let's not read it. I got scared by so much of JavaScript. This is what I need, but this paragraph is so bad written. I don't understand it. Not bad. Okay, not bad written. Just I don't understand. Okay, so I totally understand that that's my fault for not understanding this. Okay. If you have previously been using a different system to access the REST API and would prefer to switch over using application passwords, it's easy. Nice. Glad to hear that. You can generate yourself a new application password via post request to the new blah 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 passwords. I don't need it. I have it. Once you've got the new application password in the response data, you can delete any old credentials and just use the core implementation instead. But please consider using something like libsodium, vault to store credentials encrypted rather than in plain text. Alright, okay. Core is the set of software required to run WordPress. The core development team builds WordPress. What? Using credentials, REST API. The credential can be passed along REST API request server over using basic auth, which is nearly ambitious in its availability. Here's the documentation how it used with the curl. Oh yeah, give me an example. Okay, so I can let's say let me try to replicate this thing with Postmod. So ideally, if I take this authorization, if I put it in the header in Postman, where's my Postman? Headers, and that will be what? Get request, yeah. So I say authorization, and then I put this token there. If I make a write request to the Cloud Prism, what is the URL again? I have it in my env saved. This GraphQL, that's the URL. Okay, if I do here GraphQL. Then what else do I need? Do I need a body? They do post request, of course. It should be post because I guess that's in the body. We're gonna put those things. That looks like a body for me. Let's see, post payload. Can you show me payload in the view source? Yeah, that's what I need. That's what I need. Okay, so I have here a body and let's say raw variables query as preview. So the query itself is quite easy actually. Oh, GraphQL. I have here GraphQL. Oh, that's interesting. Auto fetch. Could not auto fetch. Make sure authorization URL and selected environments are valid. Okay, so that's the query. Let's try to run this query. Where was the query? Here's that's the query, right? Let's try to run this. Okay, so this is good. This is actually good. Even though I'm getting here an exception, an error, this is good because I'm getting exactly the same error as I get here. So if I make it work here, it should also then work in my code. Why can't I just add it here with a comma? Of course I can't, right? Of course I can't. Or a simple command line script. Just swap username, password, hostname. Username, password. Username, password. Can you explain for me how could I do the same in Postman? I don't understand what is username, password. Are those headers? Parameters? What is this? We are close. We are very close. Okay, so this is in context of using ccarl, so that's not relevant for us. Okay. Okay. Okay, it is relevant for us. You will see two fields, username. I want to make this. Okay, so go to the authorization tab in requests. Where's the authorization? No, but this is not what I want. It's not what I want. I know that in Postman you can actually authorize it and then perform requests, but that's not my goal again. Let's ask how could I make it without, how could I make the same request with my Next.js? And I'm gonna put it here. Okay, I think the ChatGPT misunderstands something, because okay, so username and password, okay. Headers, they also need to set username and the password as a header. I guess that would make sense. Oh, so it's like, I see, so we are kind of encoding it into the authentication. I see, so we are encoding them into one string, and then admin123, and then we are using it. That would make sense, because that's exactly how we do it in the Salesforce, but I'm not sure if that's gonna work now. In fact, I think it won't. And it doesn't. And it doesn't. Mm-hmm. I don't think it still doesn't really work. You know what? Let me take this thing. Let me put out for later. I don't know. I'm stuck with this thing. I don't know how to solve it. But I also don't want to give up. I don't want to give up. But the documentation is really not clear. Let's do more Googling. So, API securing your... Let's see. Cookie authentication. I don't think I want to have cookie authentication. Oh wow, they're using AX. That's very well known thing, right? Okay, let's do it like this. Apollo authentication to WordPress API. Connect your Apollo to WordPress. Yeah, but I need REST. What is this Zapier? Yeah, no, I don't need Zapier. Okay. Okay, headless WordPress authentication with native cookies. When developing traditional monolithic WordPress site, you typically don't give authentication a second thought. WordPress already provides a native cookie-based authentication system that works out of the box. That's true. What you may not know is that for the headless WordPress, it's possible to leverage the same authentication in your decoupled JavaScript frontend app. That's nice. It looks like something I actually need. Okay, so I need to set up the GraphQL part. Let's do that. Gonna close a little bit of stuff. Gonna close this. Profile. So now GraphQL settings. I don't have course settings, right? That's fine. I would assume that the setup is already correct. Because they're setting up course settings, course settings, checks the checkboxes, send site credentials, enable login mutation, logout mutation. I would like to enable them, but I don't think I have the option. Yeah, I don't think I have the option. I assume it's just already within this thing, so I would assume that this step is done. Okay, so Apollo client configurations. Oh, this is much better. This is what I need. So credentials include. That's what I need. And it goes where? On the level with the URI. So it goes into the link. Credentials include. Okay. Yeah, but they're authenticating the user. I'm so far away from what I want. Use content. This is really powerful stuff. Did you make the progress? You won't believe I don't understand the authentication. I really I don't understand the authentication. I'm still doing the authentication part where so basically what it does is shows me you must be logged in to view the content. In the IDE, if I'm logged in, I do see the right content. Now, if I have a look here on the network, it looks like the request that they do is somehow with cookies. So if I look here at the headers, I don't see any authentication headers there. What I'm trying to do is to include this authorization header with what I got, what they gave me here as application password, but it doesn't work. And I'm kind of circling around, and the documentation isn't really that helpful. They're basically describing here in those articles how to create an authentication system, but I don't need the whole authentication system. I just want to have some kind of secret that I send, and that's it. Because I already have the authentication with the Salesforce localhost. Yeah, so I have already authentication built in with the Salesforce. And I do have the token, which I would assume is kind of a bearer that I sent here. One thing that I want to try is actually have here headers. Yeah, well, I don't know. So in Salesforce, that would be working either like this, or I would just include here the whole bearer, and that would be it. Credentials include error. Yeah, I think I'm gonna need to delete this thing. Yep. Loading, and then it's gonna say that you must be logged in to view the content. Exactly. Login password. Okay, but this is not the application password. Show me an example of application password. Password strength, password reset. Yeah, they're basically showing up how to rebuild the whole authentication stuff. Create post. Let's see, application. Application, password, nope. A guide to authentication in GraphQL. It's very tiny. I'll see what I can find for GraphQL and application password. I know REST API works like you're trying fine. Okay. This is way too advanced GraphQL resolver. Yeah, so this way with the bearer, that's the way I would understand this. What if it doesn't support this type of authentication with the REST API? I can't really find too much information on that. Application password support. Let's see, here's an issue. December 2022. VP GraphQL headless login. A WordPress plugin that provides headless login and authentication for VP GraphQL, supporting traditional passwords, auto, GUT, and more. Try using just the REST API, just to verify it works as intended. You mean just okay, so let's say we take let's take this one and then GraphQL, right? So this thing that would be the base, and then VP JSON, let's say posts. Nah, that should be no. Okay, that's different. That's different. I mean, I know that it works here. I'm not sure what exactly you refer to. So here, if I'm logged out and if I click here, of course I get exactly what I get in my browser. Then if I am logged in and if I click on the execute, I mean, this is IDE within the WordPress, I get exactly what I want to get. You don't need to use GraphQL, it's just convenient. Okay, so this is, yeah, basic authentication with application passwords. Let's say, so they have this username password. Let's say I want to just test the API, right? So I want to just test the API, so I want to go here and let's say I want to get the post from my postman. It would be VP JSON and then something like posts, I guess. Posts. Let me check. Let's say it's gonna be posts, and I wanna have a GET request. Just raw data, nothing in the body because it's a GET request. Do I have a Thunder client? No, I don't have Thunder client. Is Thunder client better? Oh, it's for VS Code. Is it better than Postman? Yeah, I do have Postman. Yeah, the Postman. No, it's the same. Okay, I see. This is what I need basically. VP JSON loop posts. Okay, now I need to get the specific post. So I am actually looking for this one, 8002. So I guess I can do something like ID equal. Yeah, so I said, okay, it says you must be authenticated. Okay, so now let's say I'm gonna include here the bearer into the authorization. And what they, so that's the part that I don't understand. This username and password. How do I take this curl and translate it into Postman request? Because they are basically the same, right? I kind of suspect that we need to send here username password. So do the token there with the auth password. Let's say I have here username and I'm gonna put there the username admin123 and then password, and that's the password actually. You must be logged in. That's the thing. I don't understand the format of. Two input fields will appear for username and password, and enter the username and password. Maybe they case sensitive. Username, password. Let's see. Still the same. If I could just get Postman request, I could implement the code. What is this? Oh yeah, it's okay. It gives me everything. I'm looking up the way to do it in Postman. Thank you, I appreciate this. Yeah, that's what I want. I want this posts. Yeah, I mean, that's the way I have it. Must be logged in.
Welcome back. I'm
Oh,
picking off cat fur from the mic. In this video, I want to talk about the WordPress REST API. In this video, I'm going to assume you know what a REST API is. You're new to WordPress as a developer. So the WordPress REST API has all of these different endpoints that you might want to use. And the idea here is that, yes, some of them are in with the standard way of making authenticated requests. In other words, when the REST API was first released, without using third-party plugins, your only real option was to just already be logged into WordPress through, the in-browser logging in process. Then your browser would have a cookie. The cookie could authenticate you. So obviously this approach wouldn't help you if you're trying to make requests from a totally external third-party app.
okay.
But if you're trying to build any sort of feature on your actual website, this traditional or standard approach is the right tool for the job. So I'm not going to bore you by writing out the code to power this, but I will show you a bit of pre-written reference code. So imagine I want to write a little bit of client-side JavaScript to programmatically add a new blog post. Obviously, you would need to make an authenticated REST API request, right? It's not like any visitor in the world can add a new blog post to your website. So let me activate a new theme. In the description for this video, I'll include a link to this theme on GitHub if you want to borrow this code. But if I activate my new theme and just refresh the homepage, in the real world, you probably would have had a button that you click on to programmatically create the new blog post. I just wrote the client-side JavaScript so it runs when I load the page just for this proof of concept. But essentially, if you go into posts, blog post from cookie powered by REST API. So each time I reload, so I just refresh the page 2 more times, there should be 2 more additional posts. And then I have something called, then this example we just looked at, it's the right tool for the right job. However, so by requiring this nonce value, that's how the REST API can be protected.
Okay, let me
If you're trying to make requests from a totally external third-party app, but if you're trying to build any sort of feature,
let me actually try to understand this thing, because I feel like, yeah, I feel like that's something very worth understanding. So someone asking on YouTube, are you using WordPress? Yeah, I am.
had a button that I click on to programmatically create the new blog post. I just wrote the client-side JavaScript so it runs when I load the page just for this proof of concept. But essentially, if you go into posts, blog post from cookie powered by REST API. So each time I reload, so I just refresh the page 2 more times, there should be 2 more
This is,
posts. Yep.
and I know that cookies, that's not the way we want to have it, so we need more here, the section, but I'm gonna still,
let me show you the code. Client-side JavaScript is making this happen.
still gonna watch the whole video to understand.
On the GitHub link, if you dig into index.js, I'm just making a fetch request to the REST API for posts.
Aha. Okay, so this is the cookie way, right? But that looks already quite good. I could just try to replicate this thing. Okay, let's continue.
It's a post request, not a GET request, because I want to create a post. For the headers, I'm just saying that it's JSON. We can address what this nonce value is in just a moment, but then I'm just setting the title, the content, and the status. If you're wondering what this nonce value is, well, as you might know, anytime you're using cookies to perform an actual trusted or secure action, you want to be protected from cross-site request forgery. Essentially, in my functions.php file, and again, this is in the GitHub code, I'm just outputting this little bit of inline JavaScript data. So if you click to view source, you would see a property called, or an object called myData. I have dummy values here of, sky equals blue, grass equals green, and then I have something called nonce equals this. Essentially, WordPress needs to see this nonce value in your request so that it knows someone didn't trick you into making that request. In other words, if someone got you to accidentally click on a button or link that you didn't mean to actually click on, and it took you to a REST API URL, well, your browser would automatically send your cookie along, right? That's how cookies work. They just get sent along by default. But that would have no way of accessing this nonce value, right? If you go click view source on this page, even if someone got you to click on a link that made a request to the REST API, that link would have no way of accessing the DOM or this code in this page. So by requiring this nonce value, that's how the REST API can be protected from CSRF attacks. Anyways, if you're building interactive features that people will actually use on your website, then this example we just looked at, it's the right tool for the right job. However, what if you're building a completely external application? It could be anything, right? It could be a desktop app, it could be an iOS or Android app, it could be just a separate PHP or Python app.
Our case.
Environment where cookies are not part of the equation, right? You want something that should be able to authenticate programmatically on its own without needing you to actually be logged in anywhere in your browser. Or in other words, this would just be what most of us would have assumed is the entire point of a REST API in the first place. So for example, in an app like Postman or Insomnia, how could we programmatically create a blog post through the REST API? Well, for the first few years of the REST API's life in WordPress, this wasn't possible without a plugin. However, as of December 2020, WordPress has added a great feature called application passwords. Let me show you how they work. Before we actually set up an example request in Postman or Insomnia, let's go generate an application password. I'll click on my one add in passwords. So we give sort of a name or Android app. You just click add new application password. And now, in the real world, you would not want to let anyone see this value. But because this is just a local installation for a fake website, you can see my application password. That's okay. Also, just to be clear, you would want to store this somewhere safe because there's no way for you to retrieve it ever again. Now, it's not really a big deal. You could just generate a new password. But if you don't want to have to keep generating new ones, you do want to keep this somewhere safe. For now, I'm just going to copy it into my clipboard. Okay, we can close, revoke, or remove them. The last use date is accurate to within 24 hours. WordPress sets it up like that, so that way they're not constantly updating the database, every second or every minute as it's getting used. So it's only accurate to within 24 hours, but that's still super useful to be able to see, like, has this password actually been used anytime recently? Would it be a big deal if you just revoke it or delete it? Anyways, let's go use it now. So back in Postman or Insomnia, I'll just create a new request. I'll give it a name of WordPress create post example. The name absolutely doesn't matter. Let's make it a post request though instead of a GET request. And for the body, let's make it JSON that we're sending. Okay, let's go ahead and create that. Now, in terms of the URL that we actually want to push to, HTTP, my own local domain, and then it's at the end slash for the REST API is wp-json/wp/v2/posts. That's the endpoint for creating or working with posts. In the
Okay, that's something that I already gonna try. So let's see what he's writing there. So he's writing the post, right? I'm gonna write get. I'm gonna write get.
In the JSON body, let's just have curly brackets. I'll have one property called title, and I'll say quick rest.
Let's just do one-to-one what he's doing. I am okay with posting something. I can always delete this thing. So yeah, let's go to the row and title will be test title.
Test, comma, let's have a property called content. You could just include any string of text, but if you wanted to include a WordPress block, you could just have the HTML comments for a Gutenberg block. So HTML comment that looks like this, WP colon, for example, paragraph. Close that out. This is amazing content.
You're creating post, so it needs to be post request.
/WP paragraph.
It is post request, yeah.
And then finally, you want a property called status, and this is where you can set it to be a draft, or if you want it to actually be, launched in public, it would be a status of publish. Now, at the moment, we haven't authenticated this request, so if we try to send it, it's absolutely going to fail, right? We don't have permission. It's not like anyone in the world can just post a blog post to your website. But all we need to do to use our application password is just go into auth here. Let's click this arrow to choose what type of auth, and it's basic auth. Now, this will be different if you're in Postman or, depending on which programming language you're using. But if you just Google for whatever platform or language you're trying to use, plus the phrase basic auth, you'll figure out exactly how to do this for your language and platform. Essentially, your username is just your WordPress username, and then your password, that's not the password you log in with, it's that 24-character application password we just set up. So I'll just paste that in from my clipboard here, and now if I actually send this request, it can successfully go through. So just to prove that it worked, if I go back.
Okay, I see the thing, but it's not. Okay, let me try it. Let's see. I hope that's gonna work. Hope it's gonna work. Password and username admin 123. And let me actually do the GET request then. If that's the only thing that differentiates, then let's do the GET request. Let's see, authorization, password. Okay, let's try not to jump then. Let's make it slow then. Let's go back to the body. Let's make a post request, and here go to the posts. Let's go back here a little bit and see.
For your language and platform. Essentially, your username is just your WordPress username, and then your password, that's not the password you log in with, it's that 24-character application password we just set up. So I'll just paste that in from my clipboard here, and now if I actually send this request, it can successfully go through. So just to prove that it works.
Okay, so it looks like it actually went through. Which would be a really, really good thing. At least I would have something now. Posts. Ooh, this is something. We are here up to something. That goes directly into trash. Now, okay, so this is the authorization. Now, the thing is that I still don't know how to do it, is how to make, I mean, this authorization, how does it make this authorization stuff? Like, it should write it into, immediately into the request, right? So headers, and I realized that I had here a wrong header, so I thought that I need to specify the name of the app there, but no, I need to specify this thing and headers. Yeah, so it's okay, so it's in the headers. Okay. It kind of makes sense. So, okay, headers, admin, posts, and now if I get the ID of the post, so let's say I'll just get posts, and I should already see. You know, let's get the with the right ID. Okay, ID equal 8002. Oh, it's posting. Let's write get. Let's write get. Headers still the same. Get. Could not get response. Let's get request. Alright, so now I'm getting something. I think it worked. I think it worked. I think it worked. Because I see here topic 1 so-called syntax. Yes, it did. If I exclude here the username, it still works. Ah, damn, I was too excited way too early. I was too excited too early. Why does it work? Why does it work if I exclude here now? Is it possible that I changed the visibility of this one? Yeah, I think I did. Let's see. Where's my topic 1? Post requires for creating request authorization. Yeah, it's public, damn it. Let's make it private. Let's make it private. And I'm gonna include here private so that I can see the next time. Yeah, let's wait a little bit until it is updated, and then I'm gonna run this. First, I want to run it in the way that I get an error that I'm not authenticated, and then I'm gonna run it in the way that that everything works. Okay, so now if I click on it, hopefully I should not be able to see the post. That takes way too much time. Okay. Yeah, I'm just getting all of them. Okay, Sokol in Apex. Use the post ID. Here's the post ID. They to get just that post. I mean, they are using ID here, right? Isn't it supposed to be like this? Let's see. Now I'm still getting all of them. My brain. I forgot how to include parameters. Get request URL parameters. Yeah, question mark and then the name and then the value. Posts ID equal 1 to 3. That's how I had it. That's how I had it. So I wonder if it's called not. Yeah, it gives me all of them. It gives me all of them. I wonder if it's not ID, if it's something else. If it's called differently. No, it should be ID actually. It should be ID. Posts ID and then this one. ID type database ID. But anyway, I think I can just include this password and username to see if I get the one that I want. Should be somewhere in the beginning. 5 mistakes. Let's search for the name, and the name should be Sokol or topic 1. No results. Okay, post. Right. Maybe post and then ID. Then maybe with a slash. Then maybe even without ID, post. No. Posts and then with ID. Yeah, it is this one. So post and then just ID. Yes, 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 yes. You are correct. Thrown your error. Thank you again. Okay, so I get it, and if I uncheck username, let's say, or let's uncheck both of them, and if I try to run the same query, then I still get them. What the hell? Maybe it was just cached. I think maybe it was cached. You added authorization. No, I didn't. Like, I unchecked it. Ah, I added authorization. Whoa, you're right. You're right. You are right. No authorization. Okay, sorry, you're not allowed to do that. And I'm still not allowed to do that. Ah. Just give me everything. Just gives me everything. It's only accessing by authorization. I see, but authorization doesn't help me to write JavaScript. I don't understand how this thing translates into this. Because okay, if I have here basic authorization, username, password, maybe the case matters. Username and then password. Not by headers. Yeah, but I see what I understand what you mean, but how do I do now this in, because the idea that the most important is to write it here, right? In the right bar you have curl request. In the right bar I have a curl request. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I see. I understand. Wow, that's helpful. I got it. So here's the, okay, I see. So if I write the authorization instead of writing username password, let me write it back. So this one and this one, and I remove those things from here because I'm using authorization. I think it does. No, wait, what happened? It was working. Posts. Yeah, okay, so that's this way. Post and then the ID. So it gives me this thing. Now if I remove the password, I say I'm not allowed. Okay, so I send this. And now I get a curl which I can actually easy translate because I can see here authorization, and now this thing I can easily translate into the code. Oops. So it does work. It does work. Okay, authorization. Let's see if it works with this Apollo client. If it doesn't, then I can just okay, cookie, ask GPT. Oh, I wonder how it's definitely calculated. It is calculated. I think it's calculated as a, I see. You're right. I should ask ChatGPT about how to translate this curl. How in Next.js you can use fetch. Yes, exactly. In Next.js I can use fetch. Yeah. How to translate this curl into fetch request in Next.js. And I should also maybe specify here the admin and okay, but I think I already had something similar before here. Let me go back and see if I still have the old code. Yeah. I think it does something like this. admin, and the problem was that I was using here admin, and the password will be the password that I have here. That's the password. And to string, and that's basic auth. But I can use also fetch. I can also use fetch. Let's see, I'm just going to include fetch so that I know that it works. In fetch headers. Oh, okay. Authorization basic plus okay, I see that. So this is this function BTOA, this global function. Yeah, okay, so that does some kind of encoding. I see. That totally makes sense. For first, I'm gonna need to create the env stuff here. And password and admin. Like this. And now here in the page, so I'm using fetch and here basic process env rest. How was it? REST application. REST application. So the first should be user, and the second one should be a password. User password. Yeah, that seems to be correct. Cookie, I'm not so sure about the cookie because it seems to be hard-coded. I'm gonna comment out and then see if I can leave it commented out. Because from my understanding, that's the only thing that we need. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. It says unauthorized. Failed to fetch. Unauthorized. Let's put back the cookie. Let's put back the cookie. Still unauthorized. Let me just one-to-one copy what they have. And then see if I can make it so that they calculate it on the fly. Where's my ChatGPT? That's what they had. They had this one. Oh, you mean no these things around authorization? Oh, okay, I see. Oh wait, I didn't write exactly like you said. I didn't write exactly like you said. I wrote it in a different way. So let's say, okay, I'm gonna delete this around authorization. And this should be like this, basic plus, yeah, exactly, BTOR. And that's where I can already include those fancy things here, like this. That seems to be like you have. Delete the other authentication. You mean this one? Yeah, you're right. Maybe not even space. Yeah, space, exactly, yeah. Space. Hey. Oh, oops. Someone's calling me. Just a second. That's right. That's a good catch. Thank you. Thank you that my I've been talking all the time. Okay. Um Yeah, so yeah, my girlfriend called me and asked what to buy in the shop, and I turned off the microphone, didn't turn it on. Okay, so now I just need to match it. Now I just need to match it. You're passing both username and password. User and password. And let me check that user and password are actually correct. This one seems correct. This one admin. Yeah, that seems to be correct. Is this BTOA something that I can call? Let's say if I go to the console and I say okay, so it is something that I can call. So if I call it on this thing, I should be able to get exactly what they have. Well, how do we have it? We have it here and then 2 dots. So we have it like this BTOA. It's not working. No, it's not. It's not working, but we are close. BTOA. And then here we specify the password, and then we specify admin. What's the URL you're fetching from? So the URL correct. So if I set this one, it works. It works. So if I set this one, the one that I have, it works. It's this part that probably is not completely correct. So BTOA admin. Let me delete all these white spaces. I read on one blog that it doesn't matter if you include or don't include the white space, but it might matter for this function. So let's say I wanna allow pasting. What the hell? Warning: don't paste code into your DevTools console. Do you understand? I know what. What? Please type allow. Really, it has this protection against. Okay, so we're definitely getting something else here. What if they didn't use the BTOA? What if they're using something else? How is this part calculated? I have basic auth with following username and password. So basically just need to get the right encoding from username and password. Const username your name, const password your password, const credentials buffer from username to string. Okay. Yeah, it looks like exactly what you're writing actually. Let me do it that way then. To string and then credentials. So then instead of this, I'm gonna put here It's the other way. Okay, it's like this. Encoded credentials. And let me just console log to make sure that that's exactly encoded credentials. The WordPress API does not support basic authentication by default. Yeah, but we tested it out with Postman and it worked. So I guess it should work. Let's see. Oh, that looks correct. Yes, that's correct. Whew, it works. It works. It is awesome. It works. It works. Now here what we need to do is yeah, whew, thank you everyone. Thank you everyone. Oh my god. You just saw 2 hours of... Is it wasting time? I wouldn't say it's wasting time, right? It's development. But 2 hours of very, very hard development. Whew. It does work. Now I had here this thing, so I need to display it, and I can say here, so I need to save it. I will happy to join you. Yeah, thank you. You have helped me. Okay, so that works. And now one more thing I'm quite interested in, that if that's gonna work. I mean, we can just use fetch, right? We can just use fetch. We don't need the GraphQL then. Because yesterday I assumed that we need GraphQL to make a connection between posts and Next.js. For some reason, I didn't question this part. So when you guys suggested me on Twitch, I didn't question this part. I just trusted you. And if we can make it with the just fetch requests, or I think Sasha is using Axios. It's working now. Yes, it does. Throw you error, that it works. It works. At least with fetch. I can even make it better by going process dot env dot user. Perfect. So you're saying I'm the MVP. I don't know. I don't even need the GraphQL, right? I can just do everything with fetch. Not with, I would say maybe not with fetch, maybe with Axios. You did help me a lot. So. Oh, I see here use client. Can we remove the use client part? If we are not using function sync. You can do it all by REST API. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. And I guess that's the way I'm gonna go, because that's the most straightforward way to bring something on the market. Once it's on the market, then we can start optimizing. For now, it should be good enough, so it's not complete waste and not complete shit, but I think it's good enough if we just leave it in the REST API. I think it's good enough. Okay, the last thing that I need is to actually display this stuff. GraphQL is just convenience to cherry pick what values you want to return. I see, so I probably get here like a whole thing, right? A whole post, and I only need a content from the post. But I wouldn't say that I have super huge complex structures there, because I just need the content, and I just write basically like data dot content or whatever is the structure, and that's it. With REST API, it dumps everything. I see. Pass into one variable. Yeah, so here let's say const content. Okay, so in Salesforce, what we do like this dot content equal to data, and that's it. And we don't have the headache with everything else. But no, it's Next.js. But that's how you get private info. Yeah. And display, so I want to save it and display on the page. And people can see it all in the REST API or GraphQL. Yeah, but now here we're also using authentication, so if you don't know the token, that you also can't really see that. I think that's what you wanted. Yes, that's exactly what I wanted. That's exactly. And I have learned so much. Like, that's really, really cool. Oh, I understand how. Okay, I see. So this is something that on my to-do list to properly understand this, get server-side props. And we're probably gonna need to await the JSON as well. Just pass to the fetch. But yeah, throw new error, that's exactly what I wanted. Like this architecture, basically, so I think yeah, this architecture is the best workflow and the quickest way, even though I just spent basically, let's say, 1 day on setting it up and understanding the whole stuff. And it would be much more without you, but basically this architecture is exactly perfect for what I'm doing. Okay, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna say const result equal to this one, await, right? I need to await it. No? Yeah, thank you. No. let's see. Get server side props. No, that's way overkill. I just want to see. Okay, so response.json. So I do get response.json. So the way I expected it to work is that I have here now body, and then I do something like await result, console the result. That's a good idea. And let me remove this console log. And hey. Oh, by the way, can I put it here in the function? Hmm. Nothing. How come it doesn't have even this one? Hmm. For await to work, you need async function. You probably do let result equal to data. Response JSON. What if I return here? Return the response to JSON. Does it even matter where I have this function? Is it outside or is it inside? And I would probably do something like JSON dot stringify result. I wonder why I don't see any logs at all, not even this one. Am I on the right page? Since you moved code inside function, you can probably await now. Yeah, I wonder why I don't see any result at all. Okay, what if I remove this at all? Completely. Huh. Oh, here we go. Okay, I see. I moved it to the client. I moved it to the server side, so now I don't see them in the front end. I guess that's the that's the catch. That's the catch. Okay, so here's what I wanted to do. Let's move it within, inside, and then try to await the JSON. So it would be const body equal await result dot JSON response. Okay, ChatGPT, help me understand this JavaScript stuff. Get server-side props is an asynchronous function. Hey, let's put it in the how they say it. Let's put it in the get server-side props. If it works, then I'm gonna read about get server-side props. Probably should do it other way around, right? Probably should first date post content data content rendered. Don't need the try catch. Let post content blah blah blah. To use path to the content, pass props. Okay, and how do they use it then? Can just remove it. Morning, how are you doing? Simple Sphere, welcome. I mean, it's not morning for me. You're probably, I don't know where you are exactly. But if it's morning for you, probably you're somewhere in Canada, US, this side. Canada, yes, I knew it. I knew it. Let me guess, Toronto. This basically when someone is from Canada, two choices. Toronto or Vancouver? Ottawa. Ah, damn it. Okay, three choices. Three choices. US. Yeah. I have quite a lot of students from US and Canada, so I kind of work almost the Canada time all the time. That's why it's so hard for me to stream in the evening, because Canada and US wakes up and I need to go do lessons with my students. This is of course stupid. I'm so dissatisfied with my way of working, basically copy pasting stuff from ChatGPT. This is this rush of getting things done. What do you teach? I teach Salesforce Development. Are you using ChatGPT? Yeah. Why are you using ChatGPT? Well, I don't know. I wanna docs are the way. That's true. That's true. But the problem with docs is that docs, especially MDN. So the thing with docs is that they tell you generic stuff, right? And you need to try to tailor it to your specific use case. And that's exactly what ChatGPT is good at. So you can say, hey, can you basically describe for me for my use case? So I don't know. But you're right. This is typical feeling of trying to get the shortcut and spending more time on trying to get the shortcut rather than reading the damn documentation. It's like this meme that damn, how was it? I find ChatGPT shows old material. It does. It doesn't know about Next.js 14, for example. So whenever you ask it about something, it gives you the old way of doing that. I mean, old way, it's like, right, Next.js 14 is not the oldest technology, but I use Next.js 14. Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't know about this. It doesn't know about the new routing system. App directory. Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, some stuff doesn't change that much. So when I teach Salesforce development, like we discuss stuff that was done basically, I don't know how long ago, 5 years, 10 years, and haven't changed since. So ChatGPT knows quite the stuff about it. So it really depends, but I see, so I see how much change in the front end development in the last 5 years. So I guess there's new stuff every month, and ChatGPT is definitely not updated with that. Don't ask ChatGPT about WordPress on Next.js. It's not up to date. Yeah, that's true. It didn't help me. It didn't help me this time. So look, they have here an example, and this is exactly how I expect it to work. So we have here await fetch, and then I await the response. Let's delete this. Let's delete. I don't trust. Let's go back. I don't if I don't understand something, that it doesn't make sense to write it. Okay, so I have here my fetch, and it is within this function. So now I can say await, and then I can go and await the JSON. But of course I cannot find name response. Did you mean response? No, I didn't mean response. No. Change it to result. Ah, that's right. Ah, that's right. That's right. Result of JSON. This is true. Let's see. Topic plus topic. Alright, so at least it compiles. Let's see if that works. Doesn't look like. Not found. Result.json is not a function. So I remember having here like this. Okay, so it does matter what I write there. So can I just write return response? I actually had multiple things there. I just deleted them because I thought they're not really important. Get rid of then and catch, I believe. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Okay, now it loads. Now the question is, what about the logs? Topic, object. That looks promising. JSON.stringify. Yes. Yes. Whew, that works. Docs are your friend. That's true. Well, I actually think that Next.js docs are really good. I am surprised. So whenever the indicator are docs good or bad, you go there, you read, and you find approximately your use case. That's for me an indicator that it's a good docs. For example, now with WordPress, I couldn't find anything similar. So that's an indicator, not good docs. in Salesforce we have docs that don't even follow. They don't even have the same best practices. In one page on the doc they write everything with a capital, all the variables with a capital. In the another one they write everything with a camel case and whatever. Like they have complete chaos. So those docs are good. Okay, now I need to take this thing, so topic, and I need to display it. So I'm gonna write here this dangerous div, and I'm gonna just write here topic. Object. Because I need here to get ID, date, rendered. I agree with that. WordPress docs are horrible. That's why I know so much about WordPress, because I had to search and put time into getting what I needed. Yeah, I agree. Okay, I need the content. Let's see. Topic dot content, and I think I need to go like this: content dot rendered. I'll just do content. At least when I see here the logs, topic undefined. Okay. So not rendered. Dot. Topic. Yeah, I just wanted to see the JSON. I can also do JSON stringify and see again what do they mean. Okay, topic. Let's see, topic. Ah, that's what you mean. I see what you mean. All right, that's good. That's really good. Okay, so content.rendered. I know some stuff. I see that. Rendered. So it was rendered, just was not capitalized. Content.rendered. Yes, it works. Oh. Kinda. You're working as a web dev, right? As a front-end dev. For sure, if you know that much. Are you writing with a Next.js? Oh my god, this is... Whew. It looks as I've been doing front-end since 2012. Wow. It's been a long way for the front-end development, right? Especially since 2012. I remember when I just started learning programming, I wanted to go into front-end development, and it sucked. It was, I don't know, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, something like this. I didn't like it. It was not nearly as fancy as it is now. And then I saw Salesforce. And back then you could do so much stuff on the Salesforce. Like, for me, doing something on Salesforce was magic back then. Like, exactly the same way as I see as magic this stuff now. For me, that was Salesforce back then, and I was like, nah, why would I need this front end stuff? It's so ugly. Here's the Salesforce, everything's so connected, so cool. Now that's the other way around. Now Salesforce didn't really catch up that much since that time. I mean, they innovate a lot, but they are very niche, and front end development is very broad, and it's much more people doing front end development than Salesforce. I don't know, 10 times more people. So it's quite natural that front end development gets much more pushed and progressing quicker. Okay, so it works. Whew. I am glad that it works. So glad that it works. And higher pay. Yeah, you mean higher pay for front-end developers than Salesforce developers? I wouldn't say though. So, like on average, front-end developers I think are worse because there's just much more people doing that. If that's what you mean. If you mean the higher pay since 2012, then that's true. All right, so I have these things. Nice. I probably need to say Sasha that he doesn't need GraphQL. I should say more demand, but I'm ignorant with Salesforce. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's really hard. I think it all comes down to how good you are in the field. If you're super good senior front-end developer and super good senior Salesforce developer, you'll be equally good. If you're an average Salesforce developer and average front-end dev, I think as an average Salesforce developer you'd be better because it's a niche product. But as a really good senior with let's say 7 years, 10 years of experience, I think you're the same in whatever stack you have. I don't know the use case of Salesforce. Yeah, so Salesforce is basically, imagine like Coca-Cola, for example, company, and they're not gonna write their own system from scratch, right? For example, they have customers where they buy a lot of sugar, and they need to manage those customers, and that's where they use Salesforce. So they use Salesforce. I mean, Coca-Cola is a real customer of Salesforce, so they use Salesforce to manage all the customer relationship, like how many, like how much sugar they want to buy, and all of that stuff. And as a developer on Salesforce, you go and implement, basically digitalize those processes. So, does it sound for you exciting? I am a little bit underselling Salesforce. Salesforce is awesome for businesses. You can also do a lot of with point and clicks. And I mean, they're good. They're good. Not the best developer experience though in Salesforce. All right, I feel like I'm staring at my screen and I feel like I want to make a break and go get some snacks. And I'm still going to be streaming today after I have in 2 hours I have a session with one of my students and I'm going to be streaming again. Whew, that was nice, and thank you everyone for help again. Like Oracle. Yes, indeed, they are both actually competitors, Oracle and Salesforce. But here's the thing. So here's the thing. Before I go, here's the thing. Salesforce versus Oracle market share. They are so much way ahead of any competitor. That's how they are. I need. Yeah. Okay, guys. Now my girlfriend is calling in the door, so I have to open the door and see you, everyone. Thank you so much for the help, and thank you, and see you today or tomorrow. Always welcome. throw you error, you're my hero. Thank you for helping me out.